What's going on, Max? I am seeing you. Are you tired of seeing me yet?
No, not really.
Man, look, I can't say, but not by saying anything. We need to do something about this mustache, man. I got all cleaned up today. I was feeling a little bit shaggy, but I got my stuff all trimmed up, looking nice and neat. Man, we need to get you trimmed up. Like, we can't have you having these curls on your mustache like this. It's just not possible.
No, dude, it's the future. I'm man of the nature, so that's my jam. You're
getting all Grizzly Adams. Next thing you know, you're going to be like Bear Grylls, like dropping in on helicopters and up and
hey,
I don't know, like hunting reindeer with your bare hands and all that type of stuff.
I was just like couple weeks ago, we were having beers with our friends and we planned to go to the forest for a few nights on the summertime. So perhaps that'll be actually happening.
And do what? I don't know. What do you Finnish people do in the forest?
Just survive, drink beer,
drink
chill.
Survive, drink beer, chill. Okay, cool. Well, I hope that works out for you. But you know what? We have a podcast to record, and we have some things to talk about. We have a few questions that people have asked that you got to answer. So you know what? We're gonna drop that intro.
Nitro is the glory, but Buggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this money-grabbing book racing.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right.
Yeah. See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about
it. Here we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no! I like it.
Yes, indeed. Nitro's the glory, but Buggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 167 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your co-host, Keno White, aka Lefty the Great. Yeah, I have messed this intro up every time the last 3 or 4 shows. But yes, I am the host, Keno White, aka Lefty the Great, and to my virtual left is the arrogant one. I don't know if we're going to call you, we got to probably get your new nickname, even though people like that, they call you that. But we got the guy, Max Mortimus. He's busy in school. Can't even talk to him much now. Math's got him all jacked up and all hopped up on Red Bull and trying to do stuff, and sleep patterns all weird.
I don't do caffeine.
Really? You don't do tea or anything like that?
No, none of it.
Just drink water out of your prison water bottle?
Yeah. Beer once in a while,
Yeah. So Max has got this water bottle. It looks just like what guys in prison used to have. It's all like brawny looking. I'm like, Max, go get a new water bottle, man. Anyway, guys, this is episode number 167. This is the Friday edition of our show. I think it's first show of February. What's the date today? Well, we're recording this is February 3rd. But this will be out on February 4th. So today we're going to do our beach RC questions and whatnot. And we have a guest this week, and that is Chris Nelson, who's coming on to talk about TNR Fuels. He's got a big announcement as well to make. And so we got a few questions to answer. But before we do that, Max, I got to say some thank yous. I'd like to say thank you to all of the NNRC squad around the world. We can't do it without you guys. Swag has been ordered. Decals have been ordered. I'll have them at DNC. Plane ticket has been bought for DNC, so happy about that. They need some water. Oh man, I don't know what happened there. Dried out. So we got all that coming, and we'll have it at DNC. So we'll have that for sale at DNC. And if you have some friends that are coming to DNC and you win some of that swag, let us know, and we'll get that sent them with them. And hopefully we sell out, or hopefully we don't. If we don't, we put that up in the shop, and you can buy there eventually. Shout out to the patrons of the No Name RC podcast. I've been getting a little bit more busy on the Patreon, maybe doing some posts and getting more insights in there. I greatly appreciate you guys' support. We can't do it without you. If you wish to be a patron of the podcast, you can. The link is in the written description of this podcast, and we greatly appreciate all your help. Shout out to the awesome companies that decided to support the NNRC this year. We greatly appreciate their support. If you guys want to show them some love, it helps show us some love. We have some affiliate links. We have some coupon codes for you to save money, affiliate links where we got a little slice. So check them out. Our main sponsor and title sponsor for the year is invisiblespeed.net. Check them out. The online course is super good. I'm actually hoping to get in a meeting later on. Supposed to have a meeting, Invisible Speed meeting, as after I finish recording this. And check it out. TNR Fuels, he's also our guest today. They got some big things in the mix. High Tech RC, thank you for all that help. Beach RC, Techno RC, Mayako, the runner folks out there, right, is getting ready for DNC. We're going to talk a little bit about that, though, Max. We'll talk a little bit about that. TZO, Lugs Racing Tires, Clinic RC, Racecraft USA, G-Spec. Thank you to G-Spec for coming on. JTP, I'm following Teebs, as we call him. He showed how he packs his bags the other day, all in fast motion, doing some push-ups in between. Shout out to him. Papa Willie's Traction Tonic. And shout out to RCGP and House of RC. I think signups went smoothly, and I think payments are being sent out. I saw people super stoked about getting in and paying for the RCGP entry. I'm looking forward to that. And shout out to our friends of the podcast, the Viking. He's out there in the dirt. Shout out to the doctor. He's at the Snowbirds. He TQ'd 12th scale, first round of practice. Congratulations to him. And that's his race. He's won that so many times. I hope he wins it this year. Shout out to my good buddy, RC Kevin. And just shout out to everybody that supports the pod. So, Max, what's up, dude?
I'm good. This week has been, apart from like the usual Monday maths, I've been sort of taking it easy, sort of chilling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You've been ignoring me then. That's what it's been. I thought you've just been busy, but really you've just been ignoring me.
Like yesterday, pretty much the whole day, we were drinking with our friends. So kind of busy, but still chilling.
I drink beer sometimes. I just spent all day drinking beer yesterday. I drink beer sometimes. All right. I've been kind of busy as well. Lots going on. Got my tickets and stuff ready for DNC, so I will be at DNC. I'm looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. I really want to go out to Santa Barbara the weekend before that and hopefully turn some laps on somebody's car. I think I'm going to take my car in pieces out there. Salty Joe said he'll put it together. It's probably easier.
Yeah,
I'm already taking 2 bags. Well, I'm already taking 2 bags, though. You know what I mean? So
for podcast equipment and all that, you gotta get stuff with you.
Maybe not, though. I might be able to get away with 1 bag, to be honest, and then put everything in a small little carry-on bag. I did it coming back here. I actually got away I'm coming back here from the Nats. I actually got away with a knapsack, one of the small suitcases, like the carry-on suitcases with wheels, and then I have like this projector case that I had that rammed full of stuff too. I got away with all 3 of those things every flight. I was shocked, very shocked. Anyway, Max, a few little things I wanted to go over before we get into some RC news. Not RC news, some Beach RC questions. Is I saw that the Kilek brothers are going to raise Yokomo for their 10 scale program. So I was shocked at this because
me too, because they have actually signed for Yokomo, I think 3 times now. They signed way back when they were running Gama. Then they ran Schumacher for a while. Then when they switched to Mugen, they signed to Yokomo, I believe. And then they ran something else, and now they signed again. So I don't know if it's like a back and forth thing, or if they just sort of didn't have a sponsor at times. Then now they're like actually getting into 10 scale.
I don't know if they're really maybe now that it's wintertime, maybe I know they're doing ETS this weekend, so I did ask Barkan about this, and he said, "Yeah, we're just doing it for a 10 scale off road." And he goes, "We'll race," and of course they have LRP, so they're probably gonna they got their electronics covered. He said, "We'll probably do like Euros stuff like that, and maybe some bigger races like that." But obviously 8 scale is still the first, their bread and butter. But what's surprising is that Yokomo is still around, because we kind of had them written off, but they have released new cars. They just signed these guys. I mean, Mayfield's still on the team, getting a paycheck from them. Lee Martin is still running the cars. He just raced at EOS, so they're still here. I mean,
that's what, because last, like the end of the year, we were sort of guessing Lee Martin would be out. Mayfield looked like he was going to be out. All of these guys looked like they weren't really going to continue with 10 scale, or if they were going to continue with 10 scale, it's not going to be Yokomo. So that's something I was a bit weirded out when, like, I was looking at Lee Martin's post from EOS, and he said I had like calls with Mayfield about setup, and then you see like there's this guy Frederick Hogard. I think he still runs Yokomo. He's been very fast in Europe, and I think a few Asian guys went to ETS a few months ago from Yokomo. Same thing now with
Nicholas Lee,
I think
or something like that.
Yeah, Nicholas Lee. Yeah, him, and I think, I'm not actually sure about this, but I think Yannick Brumper still runs Yokomo, and he's a very fast guy. So I think there was at least I think it was him who was the only Yokomo in the main last time around. So clearly they're still putting somewhat effort into it, but like their number one guy in touring, Ronald Welker, is gone. And in off-road, they sort of slowed down because Mayfield and Lee haven't been that competitive. Obviously, Lee got a podium, so he's still fine. But I think Lee has sort of switched slowly towards more 8 scale, because previously it was just like 10 scale only. Now it's more sort of balanced, I think. And Mayfield also, like, he's had B main, so not so good results in 10 scale. So maybe it's just that these guys just haven't like had that good years with 10 scale, and now they're getting back into it. So it could be something like that.
Yeah, it could be just something like that. But yeah, they still got a racing program, so just doesn't seem like they're got. Maybe in Europe it's a little different. In America, I guess there's still some guys racing them. I think like JP Richards still races for them, and I think like Yoshi Harley and those guys, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, we thought they were gone, but they're still here. Something else caught my eye. Oh man, it was on the tip of my tongue too. Oh yes. So continuing on with X-Ray signing lots of regionally fast guys. They signed Brian Ball. So this meme was so funny. So you had the like IFMA Worlds, Spain, like X-Ray, and then X-Ray, like the announcement where they announced Brian Baldo yesterday at the X-Ray thing. You know how X-Ray does their thing. And then the guy, like that meme with the, I can't, he's an actor, black actor. And he is pointing to his head like, like, yeah. And man, that meme made me laugh so hard. That was genius. That was a genius meme, whoever made that. And if people don't remember, so Brian Baldo, the Baldo brothers actually are the owners of Redavon, the track where the Worlds will be. So just like people were making fun about when X-Ray, had the Worlds at their place back in 2019. But like they're signing up a lot of these fast guys, like they, so, and that's what I'm so glad. Hot off the press. So I got a message yesterday from the Snowbirds, and this wasn't from the doctor. This was from somebody that's there, and they said that Coelho will be at DNC.
Ooh, that's interesting. That is interesting.
Yes.
Wow. So X-Ray is going full in, because I saw Martin Beyer at Montpellier warm-up.
Yes.
Max Goetzel also was there, and they had a sort of a team with Teschione and these guys. So I'm thinking X-Ray is just going all out on touring and 8 scale this year, because it's a Worlds year. And
they probably saved a lot of money during COVID as well, not sending people. But
Yeah.
now you can see like they're signing teams, like they're actively signing people in America too. So they're growing and like they're putting a lot of money and looks like effort into growing their market in America. And
Yeah.
so, but anyway, the Boulders is a good signing for them. And then like the guys that we saw in Portugal, all like Montero are good and whatnot. But it's so
Yeah,
funny.
Skidmore, Pellekulms,
Yes. Yeah.
like these guys ain't no slouch. Like these guys are all crazy fast, have had their ups in their career, and definitely like the X-ray team is definitely one of the like the deepest that it's been in a long time, because it used to be, it was Bayer, they had Coelho, Wolanke was there at the time, so they had a few very fast top guys, but then sort of after these guys they had almost nothing. Like
Yep.
it was just they had no sort of these middle level guys, which S-Work was a great example of having all of them. Like they had all of them at one point. So now it's sort of more balanced. The balance has shifted towards X-Ray having a lot of these sort of mid-range guys. I mean, these are top guys, but these aren't like full pros, even though they probably get some travel help and they can easily make in US main on a good day. So that's something I think X-Ray has been missing for a while in 8 scale. So maybe that's something that really helps them, and I'd like to see that happen for sure. I think they represent some like good things in some ways in the industry. At least they, even though some of their innovation is a bit silly, I think the way they handle business and the way they treat at least the drivers I've heard who run their cars, it has been somewhat good. So I think X-Ray is a good company to succeed, and they are here to stay because Urai's been since like the 80s, so they have passion purely for RC.
Yeah, they're hitting it hard, dude. I like this. And I'm just so excited that Coelho is probably gonna be like, looks like we're gonna have Coelho at DNC.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's gonna do. It's like gonna be a really rough type of track, but yeah.
I think this is gonna be sort of the weakest big race he could go to for him. But I wouldn't count him out of like the top 5. I mean, I wouldn't pick him for the win or anything. But I mean, I'd be surprised.
I think if he makes the main
like,
at this race, honestly, that sounds. If he can make the main and finish in the top 10, that's good for him.
Yeah, I mean that's good, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a top 5. Like because
I wouldn't be surprised either.
The pure speed this guy has is just insane at times, and if he gets the car dialed, they can get the sort of bumpy setup going. He can be really fast.
Yep. Real quick before we go in questions. So like full everybody is headed to Paris this weekend. So all the top guys at, obviously Joseph and Ronald Falco there, we've seen the video, lots of criticism, lots of good points. All I see is just pure goodness. Like I can't wait for DNC. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
It's some like we spoke about it this before we started recording, that I sometimes forget how skilled some of these guys are, because I critique people a lot and I like watch these races very closely and I see like the mistakes these guys make. But when you just see like Ronefalk out on the track on its own and the car control, the lines he picks, like everything he does so well. So it's like it's good to have a sort of this reminder of how skilled these top drivers actually are.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. So like I said, everybody's headed there. Tebow's on his way there.
Yeah.
Lots is going out there. So this Friday they're having that big. This is like the last race at the dirt, and then they close on the 9th. So they got about 6 more days of running there, and then so everybody's headed out there to practice this weekend. It's like a mini. This is actually like the Nerds warm-up race. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This club race this weekend tonight. This is going to be like you always heard Greg talk about, I remember back in the day when we used to be at Hemet and we would have club races 2 weeks up until the race down, like the race. I was like, well, you got your dream. This is like the 1990s or early 2000s all over again for you, Greg Degani. You got the club race. It's like every club race was packed. I was like, well, this club race is going to be packed tomorrow.
Yeah,
and guys, the track is going to be packed today. I assure you, and tomorrow, and this weekend, this whole entire weekend. So, It's going to be good. We're going to get to see the Viking go up against other people. You know, everybody's going to be watching everybody. Oh,
But isn't it
this
like
is what I
one
wanted
thing?
to be there for.
Yeah, one thing that actually I just came up my mind. Like I was just watching like Ronnie Falk's Instagram story and seeing him actually wear a Mayako hat instead of like HB or Kyosho, like what he's used to. It's
It's weird.
actually crazy. It's weird. Like
I still ain't used to it.
yeah.
It's so weird. So weird. So yes, and then also another thing I wanted to bring up, Cole Ogden is done in Costa Rica with Bobby Moore and a bunch of
Yeah.
other guys for the Tico race in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is definitely the biggest in Central America. Well, besides Mexico, I would say it's the biggest racing group of people in Central America. I really want to get there myself. Bobby's been on there and built tracks for him. They now have 2 tracks on there. And I have a friend on there. He's going to be a part of Andreas. He's going to be a part of the NNRC Espanol podcast, which we should be recording soon. And yeah, that looked fun too. Like Bobby was waiting for Cole Ogden and at the airport, and he had like a sign up, and I think it said like People's Champ. I don't know, but good. I don't know. I guess this is good for HB and for Cole. I think he should. You know, I don't know. He should be out there racing. But then Cole's done a lot of practice at the dirt as well. So
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think
I think it's fine for Cole. I think it's
Yeah.
good for him to sort of build his image outside of
Yes.
America as well. And I think I'm not sure, but I'm imagining like the Costa Rica distributor paid for him to go there.
yes.
So I think this is good for RC in general in Costa
Mhm.
Rica. And that's something I think is great. Like having that, because some of these countries that don't have the sort of the pro level racers or don't have the representation outside, like it's good to have that sort of people come over because it gets the locals excited too.
Yeah.
So
I agree
it's
with you.
great to see.
These guys love RC just as much as us. I mean, that's why I want to
Yeah.
do the NNRC Espanol. But I think it'll be great. It's probably similar. It's gonna get rough, like DNC gets rough. So
Yeah.
it'll be all right. I think those HBs and them HBs will be all right at the dart. They've won a couple of times, so they should know. So we shall see. All right, Max. I think that's it. I don't really have any other news to talk about. There may be some other races going on. I think there might be a big race up in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe this weekend or the next weekend. We know we have Montpellier coming on next week. Oh yeah. So we're not going to do any coverage from Montpellier. We're just going to do a recap. People, we figured out there's no live coverage. It doesn't make sense trying to cover it. It's going to be too difficult. So we just do a good recap on the Monday after. But this is the first race of our NNRC Europe Cup. So yeah, we'll be talking about it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. But then again, I think DNC is gonna be here in a few weeks, so I think we'll be fine. Fine with
Yeah,
RC
DNC is going to be
Entertainment,
big. DNC is going to be
yeah,
big.
but for me, like,
huge.
yeah, but for me, Montpellier has always been sort of one of the highlights of like the early part of the year. So it's a bit sad because I was looking forward to like sort of covering this race properly for the first time. But hey,
Yeah.
next year.
Next year, hopefully we'll have, because I think this is one race that even I know a lot of our American listeners don't like that it's a permanent track, or some love it. Like, you know what I mean? And one
Yeah.
of the goals is I want people to start watching more European racing as well, because it's some good racing. So, but we'll be covering it. All right. So Max, I think it's time we're going to go into some questions. Real quick though, we have a message from Lugs Racing. They have 55 years of combined experience in RC. Lugs have been testing many treads, wheels, and their proprietary rubber compound for performance. You can try their Econ line of tires, which are developed with racing budgets in mind. High quality but lower cost means savings that can be passed on to you, the customer. They also have their Pure Performance line made using Lugs custom molds and proprietary rubber compound. These tires are available in medium soft, mega soft, and now long wear. You can visit them at lugsracing.com. Save up to 30% on your order with coupon code NNRC Lugs in all capitals. Thank you, Lugs, for their time. We greatly appreciate them. and all that they do for us. They signed a bunch of guys on their team this year, and I'm sure they'll have a big presence at DNC. And also we're going on to our Beach RC bench racing Q&A. Thank you to Beach RC for all their support. It'll be good to see Brent at DNC, and Ultimate and all them guys will have a big team there as well. You know, they have some top drivers going there, Cole and all those guys. So thank you for the bench racing Q&A. And let's get going.
BeachRC.com, the racers' one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit Racing Tires, Nitro Lux Fuels, and Assault RC Performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Yes, remember, guys, thank you to Beach RC, thank you to Brent, Lucas. We have an affiliate link for this. If you guys can use that, it's in the written description of this podcast. We got a little slice, helps us out. Thank you to everybody that sent us some questions, and we're going to start off real quick. The easy one, Keenan White, Max Moore by Ben Tracy's asking, are you guys coming to DNC? I am. Max isn't.
Yeah, I kind of last few weeks, people have been asking, am I going? And before, when it was before Christmas, I was so busy with school, just time with Mayako, the podcast, we were doing stuff. And so I was kind of busy. So I was like, I don't really even want to go because I'd be too busy. But now I mean, when it's closer, I'm like, I kind of would have liked to go. But yeah, I think it would be very busy still, even now, a lot of school stuff. So I think I kind of want to get up to speed with the car before I sort of have any of these big events. And but yeah, I'd be definitely in. DNC is amazing. I really liked it the last time I was in. California is always nice this time of the year.
Yeah, if you are into 8-scale racing, you should at least do this race once.
Yeah,
I've never raced it, but I just enjoy going there. I don't want to. I mean, I don't think I'm even going to be able to race it this year, but
yeah,
it's great.
You don't
I
really
enjoy it.
If you're just a regular hobby guy, you don't really go to DNC for the racing. You go for to try on the track and hanging out with the people. But
yeah.
If you're
it's fun.
a top level racer, this is one of the top level races of the
Yes.
anywhere.
Yeah, I would say this race is maybe just a scotch below the World Championship in terms of prestige.
It's like Supercross. It's like World Championships, but only for Americans.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are a lot of international people go there. So.
Kind of like Roxon and Musquin and these guys.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's not many Americans over doing the MXGP either. So
yeah,
but that's based in Europe. All right, but yeah, unfortunately, Max won't be there. Benjamin James. As for the question this week, is the Pandora's box opened, or is there a way to reverse the tide of contract customer sponsor drivers and the effect they are having on local shops and racetracks? This is a conundrum. I think this comes down to anything similar to, it's like Amazon, man. You know, Amazon's taking over the world. People can order something on Amazon and be here tomorrow. Or if you order it in the morning, you can have it that day, some circumstances. And that's kind of hard to beat. I think online shops are part of that, too. That just are online shops, not actually brick and mortar. I mean, I don't have nothing against it. I just think it's part of it. But with this Pandora, yeah, the box is open, and a lot of it's probably starting to collapse on itself. But I think the only way you can probably get any type of control of this is if maybe the team managers come together and work together, maybe put some agreements with each other, that it maybe, I don't know, man. I know it's hard to say, it's so hard, you know what I mean? It's
it's having the solutions for this issue is hard, because if we solve this issue in RC, that would solve it in everywhere else, because the same issue just world in general is having with companies like Amazon becoming too big, and the way how like all of the sort of smaller shops that actually provide a lot of value are sort of dying out. That's exactly what's happening in RC. And the sponsorship is just one part of that. The sponsorship part is just the fact that what, for example, Amazon does is they offer lower prices, and what RC, the sponsorship represents the same thing. So the manufacturers then can offer lower prices and still make sort of a gain out of that. And the fact that they have like, it's sort of genius marketing in the sense that you make these people believe that they are somewhat chosen or accepted to a team, or that they are sponsored or somewhat special, even though it's just a contracted customer. And it's like the way sort of the business model works is these people pay almost full price. Like a lot of these guys are like minus 25% off or something, like something like, some people are not even that.
Well,
So
it's off
these
such an
deals,
inflated MSRP. I think
yeah,
Associated does it off a high retail, but yeah,
yeah.
it's just
That's the thing. Like the box is open and it ain't closing ever. And I think like it's like some people say like, oh, we need to go back to clubs selling cars, and we need to go back to, oh, not clubs, like hobby shops selling cars, and we need to go back to this and that. But the fact is that we ain't gonna go back. The postage costs are low enough where it's easy enough to ship stuff. AMain is big enough where they can kill almost any shop if they really want to. I think AMain has been doing a really good job, like trying to preserve RC and make sort of RC accessible to all. So I don't want to sort of vilify AMain, but like they are very big in the industry, and these sort of brands are trying to compete with AMain instead of just competing with
we have other
sort of
shops.
with other
Yeah.
shops. And I think yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna go away from this sort of turn. But what we instead should look at is how we make this sort of manageable and sustainable. I
Mhm.
think, again, a shameless plug, but how Mayako does it, where it's a sort of a community based thing. So you buy into more than just the car, and you buy into more than just the sponsorship. You are actually sort of invested in a community, and you choose to view RC in a certain way, and you get with like-minded people, and you all have the same sort of goals, and you get more input. You get sort of, you buy more than just the product, and you get more than just the sponsorship, and you like, it's everyone can go there. So that's, I don't know if that's the way to go in the future, but that's one way to go around this sort of issue. I think Billy Tylaska also said that he's not doing sponsorships, he's doing sort of this community thing, kind of, because he said like anyone who sends an email, they can get a deal. And it's
Mhm.
not like a sponsorship deal, it's like we'll sort you out. I think that is just the future of how it is going to be. And what I wish would happen is, instead of this sort of every year end sending your race resume out and getting your 25% deal, instead of all of that happening and these brands competing and offering like crazy low deals so that no one gets any profit or gets any sort of good, and like everyone loses, everyone's eating the same pie, and like it's not growing. So instead of that happening, we need to look into ways that can like add value to RC as a sport, make it easier, make it more accessible, make it more fun, and make it so that it's sustainable with more people, and it's sustainable with the people we have right now. I think these are the ways we need to look forward to, and we need to stop thinking that we're going to go back to how it was before, because we are not going to go. The world has changed, and it keeps changing always. And instead of trying to like sort of rewind, we need to look forward.
I actually have nothing else to add to that.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
went
say
on for
anymore.
quite a bit.
I
went
know.
on
I
for
just let
quite a
you get
bit.
on your soapbox there. I was like, and you was
Yeah.
like, I'm not trying to vilify. I was like, ooh, we're breaking out big words, vilify, even though that's not a big word. I agree with you, dude. I agree with you 100%. I also think maybe a little bit of I definitely think maybe as team managers we could come together and have a little some rules and regulations to certain things, how things are done.
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't be against having sort of like the manufacturers actually working together. Like
Mhm.
again, a shameless plug, but
Oh,
RCGP,
okay, I thought you were just gonna
like
say Mayako.
RCGP, we are sort of somewhat affiliated with. Like that's something where these brands who are in RCGP and connected to RCGP are generally like willing to work together, and that's the idea of why the series is built, because it's the yeah. So putting those efforts into sort of one and creating as much as we can together, because right now it's like everyone's fighting against each other. Some people go to one race, like TLR goes to one race, and then Associated goes to one race, and Mugen team goes to one race. So like if people sort of work together and made life easier for each other, I think that could be a way forwards where like we don't waste as much resources and we have the little what we have and use it for good.
Yeah,
And yeah.
I agree with you 100%, dude. Next question, Connie Svensson, House of RC. How you doing? I'm gonna be doing all my blogs in there. I think we're gonna try and make that the center for all the DNC coverage as well. Got to figure that out before I leave. Why aren't 8 scale cars using different size front and rear tires or different? I think you mean size, because like 4-wheel drive 10
Yeah.
scale cars use
Yeah.
thinner tires than the rear. Why is that? That's a good question, actually.
I think that's mainly because the rear tires for two-wheel drive cars are very wide. So when because I'm pretty sure like in the 90s, two-wheel drive was the only class to start out with. Then someone said, "Hey, why don't we do four-wheel drive?"
Right,
And
just
then they
stretch them
realized
out.
like the front tires would be too wide, so they made thinner ones. And then over time, the two-wheel drive tires have become different to four-wheel drive front tires. So that's why they are like that now. Why they aren't this like that in 8 scale? Probably because of the exact same reason that they used to always be the same front and rear in 8 scale. But
Mhm.
I think if we like we're thinking, should we go to different size tires? My pick would be absolutely no, because that would just add costs, and I think that would be a bit unnecessary for just in general, because the tires we have now work really well. The tires we have now, it's rather cheap to produce. So it would be if we would widen the rear tires, so you couldn't really narrow the front tires, but you could widen the rear tires. But if we would do that, I don't think it would add anything of value, and it would just introduce more costs, because you would have the wheels grabbing the linkages in the rear, and you would just have to make new molds, new tires. You would have to do different setups. Like everything would have to change, and even after everything had changed, I don't think it would be any better.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah,
It's weird.
yeah. To me, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind 10 scale four-wheel drive going to same tires front and rear, but that would also mean that the rear tires of two-wheel drive would have to change, which realistically it's not going to happen and it's not worth it. So I don't see that changing either in that way. Just it is how it is, and I think it works out fine how it is. I don't see big issues in this sector.
Okay. Austin Schaefer, an e-buggy, would you run straight 5mm bullets or run a connector? I've seen both, or is it just a preference? I always run
Uh,
connector.
yeah, I think some connectors are good. Like I think
90s.
XT60, yeah,
90s.
90s, yeah, 90s are the bigger ones. So the XT90s I think are the best, or it's similar to the EC5 or IC5. Some brands call it that as well. Those have very good sort of like very low resistance, and they have good conductivity. So I think those could work out fine. But if you use Deems or anything like that, don't use them. Bullets are generally pretty good, but you need to keep replacing them a bit because they do wear out a bit more.
Mhm.
But I have myself always used bullets because it's so much easier to solder, it's less weight, and it's less hassle. So I would be rooting for bullets myself.
Yeah. I've always used connectors, but bullets, then you can only get, I always find that bullet batteries are really expensive too.
Yeah, they are more expensive, and the fear always is with using bullets is you plug them up the wrong way and like
I
the
would
whole
definitely do
battery
something like that.
explodes. Yeah.
Definitely, I would do something like that. I could definitely see me doing something. All right, next question is, actually about no prep drag racing, and it's from Chris Oxley, and he asks, recently. So I don't know if you don't follow this, but this no prep stuff is just so huge right now, right, Max? So huge. Like, there was this big race in South Florida, Miami, where this guy won like $8,000. There's like $3,000 turnkey sub 2 second cars, and it's just going crazy. That's fine. That's what it's got to be or whatever, right? So they introduced this 13.5 class to it last year or a couple years ago. Yeah, exactly. So this 13, could you imagine this is just now all going haywire? So apparently Jim Campbell is the guy from Tekken, and apparently his beef is with like R1 or something like that. And he's saying that basically R1 is using a 10.5 motor in their 13.5, and he knows because he like unassembled all the coils and
this
is
thing
like
is,
truly a nerd fight. Like,
I saw, can't remember his name now, a very, very sort of old school associated touring car driver, Rick Howard, maybe. I'm blanking on his name, but he's also, I think has been involved in Reedy a lot. So he made a post a while back about the same issue in 17.5, and the way electric motors work, the coils aren't like that simple, because you actually have to count sort of how the magnets work, how the coils are, and how I don't know exactly how it works, but you have to sort of how the coils are counted is like sort of a division equation. So you can sort of cheat in a way where you have the same amount of like coils in theory, but in actuality it would be different. So that's why I think what Jim Campbell is saying, if that's what he's saying, that you can sort of cheat where if you would just take a quick look at it or disassemble it like by hand, you can sort of, that way would look normal like the 13.5. But then when you actually look at the engine, how it works and see how it's done, then you can see that it isn't done that way. I have no clue if R1 has done it. I don't really know myself how you would even do that, but I think it was Rick Howard who explained this on Facebook.
Okay.
So that's where I saw this a while back. But yeah, it's, to me, these spec classes are a bit of a joke, because this always happens. I have never seen a spec class that's like, people don't cheat with the motors or blinky. Like, they have a speedo and then they somehow get some timing on it, even though it's blinky, and they're just like, it's been done. It's like, come on.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. All I know is that like this whole drag racing thing has blown up so crazy. I don't know, like, I'm not trying to be negative, but it's like, when is it gonna implode on it? Like, it's so much money in this.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It is a bubble for sure. I think it's cool and I think it's here to stay, but the way it's growing and the how much money people, like, I saw someone selling cars for like $3.5 grand or something
It's
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, I get it. I get it for him because he puts a lot of work into it. But the fact that like he's sold them out pretty much, when I looked at the post, it felt like, yeah, like that's crazy.
It's making money right now. Making a lot of money.
No doubt.
Justin Huglin, dude, I was on the Discord with these guys the other day, not ours, but a different one. Which reminds me, join our Discord. Try to be nice too. Don't try to be a dickhead on the Discord.
Yeah.
Dude, it was awesome chatting with you on the Discord the other night. Would you ever schedule some time to do a show with some viewers hanging out in the Discord? I don't know how we would do that. I think that would be cool. We'd have to get
One thing on the Mayaka Discord, people oftentimes do, they just hang out on the voice channel if they're like doing something. I think people should feel free to do that on the NNRC Discord as well. So if you're just hanging out, go into the voice chat. If someone's joining there, they can have a chat. And if you see someone in the voice chat and you have like time to chat up, go talk to new people. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, for sure. I need to get on there more often too. Maybe next week I'll be in the office a little bit more, and I can do that. Joseph Cood asks if you're going to DNC. We already went over that. My buddy Marlo Bright, what's up, dude? What is more valuable today as a sponsor, your social media presence, or he goes, okay, what is more valuable today for a sponsor, your social media presence and or ability or your race results? I know what it's getting at. It seems like all you need to do is be able to post really good on Facebook nowadays, and you can get a bunch of sponsors, which is true. I will say that. But I think what's important for most sponsors is a mixture of all of that. And then I think the least thing they really worry about is race results at the end of the day. Well, I would, because at the end of the day, I wish to tell people to have fun first. So social media, I have some people that are really good at the track, and help people out, and they could get good results, but they don't like social media. You know what I mean? That's acceptable too. But there are people out there that are just fast on Facebook. So yeah, and they seem to get a lot of sponsors. And that seems to be very valuable nowadays because that's promotion, and that takes you outside of your area. And if you got a following and stuff like that, you become an influencer and whatnot. So
yeah, to me,
or somewhat of an influencer.
Yeah, to me, this sort of situation is kind of like, can't think of a very good example now, but they are like F1 drivers that are sponsored by car companies, and then they are just social media influencers who are sponsored by car companies. This is sort of the same thing where for a brand, sometimes it's valuable just to create a brand image. I think Ryan Stiles Harris is the best sort of example of this, whereas he isn't a racer as in he wants to, like, he isn't sponsored by TLR because he's a great racer or
he's sponsored because he makes great videos. He's good. He's an ambassador, all that type of stuff.
And I think that is fine. And I think people should sort of get out of this idea that I need to win races so I can get sponsored and I can get my 30% off discount. You should have the idea of I'm going to the track and I'm going to compete and I'm going to have fun, unless you are actually looking to go pro. And like, again, sorry to break it to you, but most of us aren't going to go pro. There are a set amount of people who can look forward to it and can try to achieve that, but the sponsorship you get at that point are very different. That the sponsorships, like the reason why TLR sponsored Fuller's for the longest time isn't because they won races at that time. It was because they are very talented and they were seeming to become very successful at some point, so they wanted to keep it at the team and give these kids the opportunity to one day become very good. Obviously, as soon as he became good, he left TLR, and I think that's a mistake on them. The TLR should have held on to them much better because that's what they grew up with, and I think it would be very good to see them succeed with TLR. But I think that's sort of the sponsorships where people think they have, but in reality, that's not the sponsorships you have. There are very few guys like Mason Fuller. And I think the sponsorship like that is very great, and that should never be sort of dismissed at all. That's one of the best types of sponsorship. But then there's the other end of it, like complete other end, which is Ryan Stiles Harris. And then everyone else also sort of falls in between this. And I think this is sort of the issue a lot of times when people think they are going to be that sort of next pro. And then some guys are just like, hey, I want to get my sponsorships. I want to have RC. I want to have cool looking cars. And I'm going to post stuff on social media. And I think for brands, like a lot of these guys don't matter at all. It's just a contracted customer. I think it's what you value in RC. If you value your results and you after you get home from work, you want to go to the track and win, then you do that, and then you get your sponsorship through that. If you're the guy who wants to like share how he drives RC, share his passion for RC, and you do that through social media, and you have people who follow you, and you want to sort of give people inspiration, you get sponsorship through that, then that's fine. But I don't think there is sort of room in RC for sort of being, oh, this is better than that, or I need to get sponsored because of this, and he got sponsored even though he's worse than me. Most of you guys are getting sponsored just because you pay the money. Like, I'm sorry to say it out loud, but that's how RC works now. The sort of issue of getting sponsored isn't like it used to be before.
Yeah,
or
there's
how
no.
it-
It's
how
not
it
a.
was in skateboarding.
Yeah, it's. I keep coming into this too. It's not about sponsorship. Does not represent skill level anymore. You know,
No,
and
and
we
I don't think it should really.
not
They
now.
for some people it should. Like for
Yes.
people like Mason Fuller, it should represent skill level.
Hmm.
But some people like can't think of anything other than Ryan Stelzarius, but there for sure are guys who aren't that good at
Yeah, like
driving,
look at me.
but
I
they're
get
very good.
wow. The podcast got sponsors. I suck.
Actually, one guy, Ray Monday, he's one of the most valuable people I know in at least the Australian scene of RC.
Hmm.
I've never seen like win too many races, at least these past few years. I don't know if he was good in the past, but he's a guy who pretty much the only reason he's sponsored by AE at this moment is because he has a lot of knowledge. He provides a lot to his community. He
Hmm.
provides a lot to RC in general, and he's very knowledgeable about stuff. So that is completely fine, and I'd be very happy to sponsor him if I ever had an RC company. And I don't think like it's good to complain that people get sponsorship because of like something else than being good. And yeah, I think sort of the people sort of confuse the fact that some of these sponsorships are like there are different levels of sponsorship. Some of you guys are just sponsored so you can get a deal. Some of the people are sponsored because they actually add value to the brand. And yeah, it's like most people who are sponsored are not adding much to the brand apart from the local hobby shop. And that's why I think like Finland, it's been very good now that most of the sponsorships people have are through the hobby shop. So they actually work for the community in that sort of area. They work for that hobby shop, like how they build their image. And I think that's more important than driving for AE or driving for TLR or any brand for that matter as a sponsored driver.
Yeah, I see people that like for instance they just drive for Beach RC and use their discount
Yeah,
at Beach RC to buy
that's
whatever
great.
car they want. That's
Yeah.
fine too.
I,
That's
I,
fine.
I'd much rather see something like that than people sort of getting a 25% deal and trying to be, I'm the S-Works guy. Like, S-Works is the best. I love S-Works. And every time someone wins a race with S-Works, you share it on social media and go crazy about it. I mean, if that's something you like to do and that makes you feel fine, then great. But if you are doing something just to get sponsorships that you don't like and that makes you dislike RC, stop doing it.
Yeah,
Start doing
I
stuff
agree.
that makes you happy in RC and stop
Hmm.
thinking about the stuff that makes you miserable.
I
And
agree with
like
you.
that's how everyone should take the attitude towards RC. Find the things that make you happy in this sport and try to maximize that.
Yeah, and remember, it's about having fun first.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Will Cunningham, real quick. In JQ's pillowball video, he made the suggestion of running 3K in the center diff to keep the rear end from wanting to drive as much out of a corner. What do you think about that? Wouldn't that be too low on the straights and cause the front tires to balloon? I think you need a heavier diff on the front as well, right?
Maybe, but not necessarily. I think the reason, and people have to also remember this, is when Joseph says that, he means cars like Mugen specifically and Associated specifically because of the rear hub design. So the issue why Mugen and Associated are somewhat slippy in the rear end when it gets dusty, it's not because of the front end, it's because of specifically the low offset in the rear end. So this 3K for the HTC diffs in AE and the big gears in the Mugen, I think 3K would still be all right. With the low traction diffs and associated, 5K probably would be your minimum you could ever go to. But generally what this does is it allows the car to not spin out. When you go on power, it allows the front end to grip up first, and then as soon as you pick up speed, you sort of the power balance out between the front and the rear end. This is a good way, and I would suggest it. And if it balloons, then just go a little bit thicker, but you can, when you have this issue, you can try to go as low as you can before the ballooning happens.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that with the HD diffs, the Mugens use a lot lighter oil.
Yeah,
because of the gear size and the bigger diffs and all that stuff. Yeah, I forgot all about that. All right, we got an Instagram question from KB Wolf. He goes, "What's up, dudes? Does pineapple belong on pizza?" I think so. I love pineapple on pizza. I know who hates pineapple on pizza.
I'm not gonna shoot you if you put pineapple on a pizza, but I'm definitely gonna shake my head a bit and then.
It's good. I love Hawaiian pizza. You know who hates it?
Yeah.
Mal. Don't ever mention that to Mal.
Yeah, like any Italian, if you ever mention pineapple and pizza in the same sentence, they go into panic mode. They have a panic attack straight out.
All right.
You see their face go red and shaking and all that. It's crazy.
He asks, he wants some tips when racing on a new track or layout, mainly the first practice lap. Is it full send or slow rolling the jumps? You don't want to full send it because you might break it right away.
Yeah. What I usually do is if it's a crazy big jump, I just roll it the first lap. But generally, all of the jumps these days and all of the tracks are fairly easy to go over just to get the landing perfect. That's the hard part. What I usually do is I just take it really slow. I usually do a tank where I just sort of look at where you can jump, where the lines go. And then after the first tank, I try to sort of find speed.
You just send it, zero responsibility.
Yeah. I always have very good responsibilities, so I'm not sort of I'm not that kind of a.
You're a little better than the average guy, though, Max. You're younger. You can drive pretty good.
Yeah, for me, getting used to a new track isn't that difficult generally. So maybe
I just roll around
for me to answer.
Roll around, try not to crash, then you just figure out. I just for me as an average racer, or used to be, just roll around and figure out which you can jump. Look at people who are jumping where, and then just see if you can do it. Until you get comfortable. That's the best thing.
One thing I've noticed though, it's very valuable to get continuous laps, because if you do one lap crash, you never get the flow, and you never sort of understand what's the flow of the track. So even if you go very slow, but you don't crash for, let's say, 5 minutes, you start to understand the track and where you need to go and what you need to do. So I think that is very important. Like a lot of people who, I know a lot of people who, even very high level drivers who just first practice run, they just crash everywhere. And that is very hurtful for your driving, I think, because you never, every time you go into a corner, you have just crashed in the past few corners. And you need to sort of get the rhythm back and then continue. So for sure, if you can, just try not to crash for the first tank or two, and then after that try to pick up speed. That's for sure the best way. And also you get the most track time as well, especially if you have to, if you're not at the race where there's no marshals, definitely then try not to crash. Sweet.
Some Discord questions. Robert Parenti, what's the difference when changing kick up anti-squat between A, C blocks and B and D blocks?
Yeah, so this is something some people sort of think, should I raise the D block to reduce anti-squat, or should I lower the C block? So basically what's happening here is when you reduce anti-squat or kick up or increase, on the other hand, you're also raising the arm up. So this basically means that if you're adding anti-squat from the C block, you're raising the arm up. This way you will have a higher roll center in the rear, so it makes the rear end a bit stiffer. If you are adding anti-squat from the D block instead, you are lowering the rear arm, and this has the opposite effect. It lowers the roll center. You have a bit more grip. Same with the front. The lower the arm, generally, the more roll, the more grip you have with the car. So this is something that's the key here. Like, if your car feels stiff, but it still squats some power, you of course want to lower, like add anti-squat from the D block. If your car feels soft, but it squats some power, you want to add the anti-squat from the C block. And same with the front. If you need kick up to allow the car to dive a bit more, but still the car front end feels really edgy, you can do it from the B block. So you lower the arm, calms down the car a bit, and lets it dive a bit more, and then the opposite for the A block. So you need to think, like, when you raise something up to add kick up or add anti squat, you are like raising the arm up and stiffening up the car, and then the opposite for lowering the arm and you're smoothing the car out.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the person to ask that question. Definitely not. All right. A couple more. Hold on. Where did I go here? One more. I think we have one more Discord question from M3DN3. What is rotation? When I hear people talking about how their car does and doesn't do it, and what does this mean? Is it when the rear end breaks loose in a corner, or is it when the car is steering a lot and following a sharp curve?
This is one of the questions that got me really excited, because I always feel people misunderstand. They always say my car doesn't steer or my car steers. Or if there isn't rear grip in the car, they just say, oh, it fishtails. Or if it's very aggressive into the corner, they just say too much steering. I think it's important to understand, like, rotation, steering. So I'll start on this podcast. I'll start out with rotation and steering and what's the difference. So generally, the way I think of it, and some people would define it maybe a bit differently, but steering is the front end doing stuff. So steering is where you turn the wheels and you can feel the input. So a more precise car, more sort of stiff front end that really grabs onto the track, that is steering. When you go into a corner and you turn and the car immediately reacts, that is steering. But when you go into the deep end of the corner, you can have a car that has a lot of steering, but in the middle of the corner, you just feel the car is a bit stuck. You can't get it rotating over where you can go on power early on. So rotation is when sort of this middle section of the corner, if you have more rotation, the car wants to sort of straighten out for the next straight. If you don't have enough rotation, you're going to get stuck in the corner. So the rotation, how I would explain it, is when you feel the car sweeps around the corner as fast as it can, and then you can go on power. So rotation can be added by reducing sort of toe-in, for example. That's one of the best ways to add rotation to the car. So the rear wheels aren't sort of stopping the car in the middle of the corner. Some ways to add rotation as well. Sometimes adding or hiring the roll centers of the car. That's something sometimes you can add rotation in the car. Sometimes if you raise the roll center, lower the roll center in the rear, that can add rotation, as the rear end isn't gripping that much. It allows the front end to steer, and the rear end just follows and doesn't stick to bumps and such. Laying down the shocks, that generally adds a lot of rotation. It stiffens up the roll of the car, but keeps the car soft, sort of up on the up and down motion. So those sort of things are that you can add rotation with. The car is stiff to the roll, so it keeps sort of going on the steering. Like, as soon as you steer, you have the steering to get the car into the corner, and then you need the car to rotate, because when you get the car to rotate, you can go on power earlier on. And for the car to rotate, first the front wheels must turn, and it needs to spin the car around the central axis of the car. So the rear ends sort of always have to slide a bit out, and the front tires have to always go a bit in. So if your car the front end isn't getting the car in, or the rear end is trying to not going against of the rear end, going a bit out, you will have less rotation. So you want to add more rotation to the car. You will either add something for the rear so that the rear end is allowed to slide out a bit, or so that the front end keeps turning and doesn't stall in the corner. So that sort of rotation describes much better the whole attitude of the car, where steering just describes the attitude of the front end on its own.
Sweet. You went full science mode on that one.
Yeah, that's
Full
one of my
science,
favorite
man.
things, because a lot of people always say I don't have enough steering, where they mean they don't have enough rotation. Because you can have a car that has crazy amount of steering, but then you're in the corner and you're just stuck there. You can't get the car to turn around. In that situation, oftentimes laying the front shocks down on the tower, lower toe in on the rear, sometimes stiffer springs too can help in the rear, especially. Or so, like one thing actually that helps a lot with rotation is thinner diffs, especially in the front, sometimes in the rear as well. So those
Interesting.
things, something too you could think of.
Yeah, I think that's all our questions for this week, though, Max.
Yeah.
We have one question, but I'm going to save that for our next bunch of doing this, because I kind of have to word this properly. It's a question that the person wants to stay anonymous, and it's about somebody. It's about a team manager in RC, and I have to figure out how I'm going to word this. Maybe I'll ask it on the next one. But thank you everybody for sending in your questions. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Beach RC for their support. Thank you to Max for going and completing total science mode and asking all this and answering those questions. He loves it. Hey, people, he loves this part of the podcast.
Yeah, this is sort of my favorite section of the podcast. Has been since the start. I love it.
Yeah,
Makes me happy sort of talking about RC, and especially like we talked about this a few podcasts ago, but like it's important to like remind yourself that why you are doing this. And for me, like this is the part where I really love RC, the fact that it's actually a race car and you can drive it around the track, and you can pick it with a bag and put it in your car and then just drive to the track instead of having trailers and stuff. And it's affordable, it's fun, and yeah, it's everything about RC is just like it's simple, and it's still so there's still so much to it.
Yeah.
So
sweet. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, remember, check out Beach RC. Use that affiliate link if you guys can. We got a little slice of that. We appreciate it. We're going on to the Techno RC main interview, and I'll have Max, the arrogant one, back for our conclusion.
Techno RC. Techno RC. Techno RC is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.technorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Techno RC. Excellence in engineering. #Techno Takeover.
So joining me in the virtual studio of the NNRC podcast is a good friend of mine. He just had a big race where he gave away a lot of stuff, and I really like the layout, and it's a type of race that he does to give back to his RC community. If you guys don't know who he is, he's Chris Nelson, the owner of TNR Fuels. What's up, Chris? How are you, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh man, another day, brother. Another day in RC paradise.
How's things in California? How's the weather today? Because we're coming up on DNC here in 3 weeks' time. I hope we have some decent weather.
We will, man. The weather's good. It's sun's out, but it's a little cold. But it's perfect, man. You know, we had our week or two of rain for the year, so we're good to go. So DNC's a go, man.
Sweet, awesome. Well, thank you for joining me. Congratulations on the AMain Challenge that you had here a couple weeks ago. Yes. Your second annual race that you've done this, the second time that you've done it. You went all out. You had Mod there. I think, by the way, I just want to give him his props again. I think he did a great job. Matt Olson, he's a one-man team. He's doing a good job of his production. It gets better every time that he does it. So shout out to him. People had a lot of fun. People won a lot of stuff, which is great. We're going to talk all about that in a little bit, because we're going to talk about that race. But yeah, here we are, like 1 year later. You're on the podcast. TNR Fuels is everywhere. I remember when you first came on the podcast, and you first came on the scene. Congratulations, dude! Like 1 year on, how are things going? 1 year on with TNR Fuels.
Man, it's a true blessing, man. Again, to turn my hobby into work, it's been fun, man. We've actually, you know, we owned a security company, and we had to actually slow that down to almost a halt so we can concentrate 100% on the field, because the field is just so it picked up rapidly and just stronger than we ever imagined. So we were losing a little bit by, you know, holding off on the field and working security, when, you know, in reality we were, you know, I'd take a day off of work from the field to work security, and then I'd come back with emails and text and messages of, you know, orders and etc. So this year we're concentrating 100% on the field. So that's a blessing. I love it.
That's pretty amazing. I remember when you told me that, I was like, wow, you're doing this full time.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear. I mean, I do this full time as well. I know how consuming RC is, and especially when you have something that's successful. What have been some of the, congratulations on that, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Not
Thank
very
you.
often that a new product comes on and is successful so fast. So I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you so much.
What do you think has been the reason for that? Why have you guys been successful?
I think we hit the RC scene a little different than other companies. You know, I think my wife and I, you know, we put some strategies together to make it work somewhat, you know. And then at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, if it doesn't work, me and my homies got fuel to last us for the rest of our life. So that's the way we took it. But, you know, I mean, this wouldn't have happened without the help of like guys promoting it for us, really, you know, on their own. You know, Chase at Racecraft, Matt at MOD, these other companies, Tyler Brown with JT Barons, these guys have huge followings. So without their help and commitment, our product just doesn't do what it does. So
you've been everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere.
And then of course myself, I traveled. That was a dream come true, because you know, pros travel. You know, they're paid to travel. Not everyone's in the position to travel like that. So last year I got to do the traveling, going to East Coast, going to the South, going everywhere to race. That was a dream come true for me. So ton of fun. And now I'm looking this year to do international traveling. So that's going to be fun.
Really? All right. Yes, well, let's touch on that real quick. So like I said, you do have a lot of people promoting your fuel all over America, Canada. I'm not sure how you guys are doing internationally. I know you have Kyle McBride, or is Kyle McBride still running TNR?
Yeah. Kyle, we just had a big conversation with him the other day. He's super stoked. He just switched over to OS, and he's running it. We're in Canada, Mexico, Australia, Japan, Costa Rica, and there's another one I'm drawing a blank on, but I'm drawing a blank on another smaller country.
But you haven't got into Europe yet, right?
Not yet. We haven't hit Europe yet. Yeah,
because they have their strict regulations too.
What was that?
They have strict regulations now, I think, too.
Yeah. So it's a little tough to work with, but we're still trying.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to see. What's been some of the? Hold on. Rewind. You said you're going to go international. So where are you planning on going?
Well, the world, you know, the on-road nationals.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico.
I'm trying to go to we're going to go to Puerto Rico, and then obviously the off-road worlds, because we got to get our field out there ahead of time. So we're already doing trips to get out there and meet up with the tracks, etc. So we will be one of the field companies at the Worlds.
Oh, great! I am because I actually would love to go to the on-road Nats as well in Barcelona, because Puerto Rico is not far from me at all.
Nice.
And I'm happy for those guys for getting that race. And Onward's pretty big there. And I've never been to a big Onward race, so I really want to go.
Nice.
And I definitely have never been to a World, so I'm planning to be at Redovon as well.
Nice.
So I'll see you there. I can't wait.
Yes, sir.
So that's good. That's good to hear. So what have been some of your biggest hurdles in an upstart fuel company coming into RC, doing things a little bit different from everybody else? What have been some of the hurdles?
Man, you know, be honest with you, it wasn't. We didn't really have hurdles, I guess. I guess once I understood the blends of what we were trying to do and get it out there, I guess it was more of answering questions to guys that didn't understand our field, if that makes any sense. You know, our field's a little different. I had to come up. I talk to my team guys now, and I've told people in the past, I couldn't come out with a field that was hot fire for the pros, that, you know, they run it a motor or engine here, you know, 1 or 2 races, and now they're on to the next because, you know, the bearings won't last long, et cetera, et cetera. So I had to come out with a field that was for your starter all the way up to a pro that can handle it.
Mhm.
So in between that, we have us drivers, like your expert drivers, your 40 plus drivers, your other pros that I don't want to say don't tune as well. I'm not going to say that, but
I know what you mean.
Like your pro, like your Cavalieri, take for example, he runs our field and he's winning left and right with it, you know.
Mhm.
But then you drop down to some guys in my class that are having issues tuning wise, you know. Not
Right.
saying it's tuning or motors or engines. It's just, you know, it goes back and forth, and those are the hurdles that I've had to deal with. But it's kind of cool because now we have our race blend coming out for off road now. Actually, right before DNC, it's
Okay.
gonna be more for our team guys first, and then we'll release it, you know, worldwide. But believe it or not, we haven't had really any hurdles. It's been a smooth ride. Once we got the blend up and running, it's I guess getting it out to as many people as we can has been the hardest part, you know.
Yeah. So how many different blends do you have now?
Well, off-road, this is good. Well, we have our on-road blends, the 2 blends there, which we're working on a second blend. Paulo Margatti, he's one of our team guys. He's helping us out with that in the on-road side. But we got the on-road blends, and then we got our off-road blends, which is the off-road 30%, and then we have our 20% too. So, but again, we're coming out with our newer racer blend, which has a little bit less oil, a little bit more pop. So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the guys will be happy with that blend.
Yeah, Morgante is a really good GT driver.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see, you guys call him GT driver. When I first saw that guy drive, he was an 8-skill driver. And
Really?
God damn, the dude is fast as hell, dude.
He's from Peru or something like that, right? I believe so. Like Italian Peru or something like that.
He's Italian, I believe. But I mean, of course, he's in Miami. But he is a phenomenal 8-skill driver, man.
Yeah.
Actually, 10-skill. He's just an on-road driver. The cat is he's amazing. So.
Yeah, that's like a whole new world for me. But I like the nitro side of it. It's pretty cool. How about greatest rewards, dude? What's been some of the greatest rewards doing this so far after a year?
You know what? I've got to spend a little bit more time with, believe it or not, because I travel, but I've got to spend a lot more time at home with the family, and my wife is more involved with this business compared to my security business. So she's more hands-on. I mean, you guys see, I don't know if you can see. You know, she did the logo. She's just hands-on. She's the one on the website. She's designing our website. She's doing this and this. So her and I have got to work a lot together. And then, of course, I get to race a lot more. So that's just been the best thing ever. So, you know, to have my own race, my wife there supporting me, and she's happy about it, not mad about it. That's huge.
That's a win situation.
Yeah. And then I'm at home with the kids a lot more. So it's been fun. That's been a positive, a plus.
I would say so. Yeah, me working at home and doing this allows me to be around my family more. Yeah. If I wasn't, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd be working somewhere else. Right. So I get all of that, and it's great she's involved because it takes 2 to tango or more, and it's hard to do it when your significant other doesn't really get what you're doing.
Exactly.
So does she get to travel with you? Has she enjoyed that?
A little bit. She did a little bit. You know, I think she did. We did Texas and Arizona, I think, but international, she'll definitely be traveling with us. So, she's still in go. So,
I know.
Yeah, she's my right hand man on that one.
She, because she's from Peru, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, actually, racing is really growing in Peru a lot.
We can't wait to get back
off-road.
Yeah, on road is big out there, but off road is starting to grow tremendously. So you're right.
Yeah. So that's good to see. I remember when Joseph and I first went there, they were like driving around, like the guy that's really headed it all up. He had some little track with a little small driver stand and all, like they have a national championship. It's good to see. Wow. You guys got to get down there.
Yes.
All right, let's talk a little bit of on-road. You did, what was it, the Nationals last year, or was it the Worlds that we had? So the Nationals at Steel City. At Steel City.
It's Steel City, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yes.
We had a big turnout for that with TNR Fuels. We Robbie Serrato, our factory driver, he was able to TQ 8-scale pro with our fuel, and then qualify second or third in sedan, only to have traffic issues or whatever. But and that right there was huge for us because there was some on road again. Like on road was new to me, and those where I got into on roads for our fuel to to learn to test. But then the on-road side, guys, is a whole different beast than off-road. These guys are at a different level of RC. I'm not downing off-road.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Guys, yeah, I've learned I've been in RC for so long, but then I learned so much from Walter, Robbie, Dave Blakely. These guys have taught me extremely so much. So tuning wise, braking and engine wise, like I just have my Reds team manager, Colin Herzig, asking me how do I break in my engines, because now my off-road engines run much different and better than what I've done previously. And that's because I've taken the on-road stuff and brought it over to off-road, and that concept has just been nice. So
they're scientists. I have a buddy. He's an on-road guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is such a scientist. He's like, if I had to, he just loves wrenching, and I have to actually he would tune your engine to the point like he wants optimum performance. I'm like, man, back that down a little bit. Like, so I know fuel is important on our side, and but in the on-road side, fuel, having that perfect tune and all that is even more important. So fuel is a big thing there. So I'm glad that's a big deal for me.
It is. So like I said, for these guys to TQ and win, and then myself personally, that was a personal best that I've ever did. I made the semifinals and I finished that long main. So for me to do that was like a pat on my back, because I've only been doing on-road for a couple of years now, and to do a national event and make the semis and to finish the race. Because like I said, on-road is 100% concentration. You blink, your car is wadded up and you're done, Right. So to have our motor on tune, to be running my own fuel, and to be running just absolutely perfect, it was a blessing. I enjoyed every minute of it. So
yeah. And did you run fifth scale as well?
I tried fifth scale. Not with our own field, but I have a fifth scale on road. It was I only ran the spec class, I think it was. So it's not as fast, wasn't as fun, but it was. Because once you do 8 scale on road, there's just no adrenaline. There's nothing that compares to that, at all. So it's like you're just over there with the turtle, like, okay, let's go.
I love fifth scale. They look so real.
They're cool. They're cool. Yeah. They're super cool and fun to watch, And the other class, like, because they got the fifth scale roads coming up. So I can't remember what the other class is called, but like you got guys like Chris Velez and Dave Blakely, and Panda. These guys or Kevin. These guys are all buying fifth scales just to do the world.
I saw that.
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
I saw that. Cool. I'm gonna have to drop in on a lot of money to run worlds.
Oh God, those cars are like
money.
$7,000. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pretty cool to see.
It is.
So that is something I noticed. You have switched from over to Reds engines. How'd that come about?
Man, you know what? This is awesome. They for a while, people have always said my fuel only works better in Reds engines, and I was just like, guys, I've ran OS all my life, since I want to say 07. I've ran OS engines. I was one of the few guys that would run those, because they were a little pricey back in the day, but I was able to run them, and I pretty much based my fuel on OS. Even though I ran every motor out there except the MX motor, I think it was. That was the only one I can't get my hands on. But I pretty much tested every motor or every engine, every fuel, and I just, we put our notes together, and the combination between my OS and my fuel was just awesome, So I finally I was able to, for our race coming up, Marco and Federica, I think they're brother and sister, I think.
Yes.
But I was able to get a hold of them through Colin Herzig, and Colin was like, Chris, man, what do you think about the Red situation and sponsoring the race? I was like, what? This is awesome. And they've always done nothing but talk highly about our fuel, and I'm just like, that's great. Just like for a company, an engine company, to talk highly about our product and to want to be a part of it, that was just a blessing in the sky. It was just like, why not support this company? So it was a big hurdle for me to switch from OS to Reds, because I was, I've been so comfortable with my race program and I've never had issues with OSs. But to have a company support our company, it was a no-brainer, and it was just like, so I switched to Reds right before our race. I switched to Reds, and Colin helped me out, got me going. Marco and Federica, they, obviously sponsored our AMain race with tons of engines, so that was awesome. But at my race, I was able to get them broke in right before my race. And Colin helped me out and everything, and by the time my qualifiers came around, my engines were screaming. So
Yeah.
I was overly ecstatic for my switch. I love my Reds engines. They're running flawless. So I'm looking forward to DNC.
I'm looking forward to seeing them in your on-road cars too.
That's going to be, so that's going to be a different switch as well. So I got rid of a couple of my last OSs and on-road. So I can't wait to get those in there as well and see how they perform. I'm really interested in seeing how they do. So.
Okay. All right. So we did touch on this briefly. You do have top drivers like Kyle McBride. And you have your other top drivers in on-road. Are we going to see any more TNR top drivers or anybody that you wanted to give a special mention to that we probably didn't notice join TNR this year?
Well, yeah, we got we're first off, I'm so happy with our team. I mean, we got I know people categorize people as in like Kyle, Ryan Cavalieri, Tyler Brown, these guys top drivers, but and I've specially handpicked almost all our drivers, literally.
Really?
So each driver means something to our field, to me personally, or just in general. So yeah, we picked up some fast guys out there. But it's more we're with TNR, we're trying to, like, I'm an old school driver. So sponsorship actually means something.
Got you.
With our facility, with our company. So we don't just have accounts. Like, you have manufacturers out there that just, hey, I'm a beginner sportsman driver. Well, here's an account. And then they call that sponsorship. That's horrible, in my opinion. Okay. So again, most people don't know, but our TNR, we have our own little TNR page. Our guys, that team is I don't want to say special, but it is, because we have a contingency program, and it's not just for pros. It's for 40 plus and expert drivers, because we don't really sponsor sportsman drivers. Right. So it's for expert 40 plus, and we have our own little thing going between the whole team, and it's a ton of fun. That's
good. I didn't know you had contingency. That's good. At JQ Racing.
Yeah, it's fun. Keep it going with the guys. So that's why, again, we couldn't just pick up everybody, because again, it's a small group that we're trying to,
I know what you mean. Create a community.
Yes, exactly. So, and it's worldwide. So it's a ton of fun. But then we're all racing, like my buddy Eddie Lorette. I snagged. We have a contingency for 40 plus, and I was able to snag a win from that cat. So, but he was fast all weekend.
So you paid yourself.
Yes, yeah. I took that money and went and spend it. So, but it's fun though. So anyway, I still have instead of going out and grabbing other pros, I made factory drivers within our team. So guys like Walker Spinrad, Jermaine Robertson, these guys supported us from the start. They were regular team drivers. They're at that pro level, so they deserve to jump up to be a factory driver.
Got you.
So, we pretty much try to keep it in-house and work our way up from there. So I'm really happy with our drivers. I love the team we have. We're all close, and just hopefully we can keep killing it.
Do you guys have a squad going on to Puerto Rico, like a decent TNR team?
Not sure yet. I'm not sure who's tried to travel yet. So
right.
I don't know. It's still in the air with who's going. So we're willing to help out whoever we can to get out there, So
good stuff.
Still not sure.
Good stuff. All right. So let's talk about your race here, the AMain Challenge.
Yes.
Second year running it.
Yeah.
It grew a lot this year. A lot of people went, because it was the same. Unfortunately, it was the same weekend as Nats warm up, but that's kind of unavoidable. Yeah. With Nats warm up coming, with Nationals actually changing, everything had to be sped up their schedule. But everybody went to this race. I was watching your Facebook lives before this. You had a ton of I saw like 15 OGO bags. Well, 12, because we all know that. I think you had 12 car mains. Because that's it. That's what I know. Because Thunder Alley, I remember asking Joseph when he was doing RCGP, why don't you put more people in the main? He's like, because Thunder Alley's can only hold 12 people.
Exactly. I'm a racer, so I don't want to be squished to the side in my main event and be uncomfortable. So 12 people max. That's it.
Yeah. I was like, this dude's got 12 OGO bags, like all different colors. Like, my buddy's like, but these are all for raffles. I was like, no, but he doesn't do it for raffles. It's like, he raffles off each class. So we had you on here last year to talk about this. You brought up some good points. I remember you saying this race is not for every race promoter. It's something we do to give back to my friends and my RC community. What did you guys do different this year?
Well, believe it or not, absolutely nothing. It grew. It just grew, you know. We gave away a few more things, you know, but changed up the raffle stuff. But I'm glad you brought that up because I've been getting so many good comments about, and I love it to the heart, you know, about this was the best race ever. Other race promoters need to, you know, look at this and blah, 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 blah. And so I want to reach out and say, yes, this race was one of a kind, and it should be. It is one of a kind race because not everyone's able to do what we're able to do.
Correct.
But I don't do races for a living. So,
Right.
and other people have to understand, like other race promoters do this for a living. They're not able to give of what, you know, the caliber of what we did. So for us, fortunately, we're throwing our product out there. We're getting our name out there. So this huge event put TNR Fuels out there, you know, and that's the purpose of this race. And yeah, we gave away a lot of stuff, and you know, this race we actually broke even. So that was awesome.
Good. That's always good.
Wasn't expecting that at all, you know. So but you got to understand that, guys. We broke even. So there's no way a race promoter is going to throw a race to either break even, make $10, or lose money. Exactly. So we can't down other race promoters at all ever for not giving back. And it sounds bad, but at the same time, yes, us RC racers, I'm a racer too. I love, like, if I'm having a horrible race and my AMain just went to crap, but I could still win something in the AMain raffle, that is just unbelievable. I love that, you know. But there are race promoters that give back. We just don't, we're not always there to see it, and they're not at the magnitude of what I did. So again, we can't down those guys. But again, we can look forward to the AMain Challenge.
Exactly.
We don't know what's going to happen. And next year, we've already started talking about it. Next year, it's going to be even bigger. It's crazy. The way we're changing, you know, I've talked to Daniel already, MOD, Andrew at Thunder Alley. It looks like we're probably going to end up having it at Thunder Alley again next year. Maybe we're not sure. But that's what we're gearing to. So, but yeah, we got to work out because we went from 280 entries to 462 entries.
Yeah, it was like 225 people. It was quite a bit of people.
That was you know, Nitro Challenge status sort of.
That's a lot of people at Thunder Alley. People don't realize it.
It was, but you know what though? It's like between Andrew and myself, we were able to space everyone out, and it wasn't crowded. It just there was a lot of people there, and it wasn't crowded. I mean, we were able to manage it. It was great.
Yeah, the track looked good. I really people were doubting the whoops going. I think it was going into it. Yeah. I was like, we'll see how it goes. And then like they weren't even an issue. I think they wore away. I really liked the graffiti that was done on the
my
on
buddy
the ramp.
Nick Miller, another RC car guy he's another fast RC driver that's one of his hobbies is you know art, because I call that art. Other people call it graffiti, you know.
No, it's art. The graffiti art.
And if you guys would have saw like I literally called him the day before. I was like, hey, bro, I've been wanting to do this and blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, I'll come out there tomorrow. Heck yeah, you know? And then he literally goes, what do you want? I go, here's a picture. He looked at it. Oh, okay, give me about 4 or 5 hours. I go, what? You know? And next thing I know, he's just, and I'm like, really, dude? And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to take a lunch. I'm just going to get through it and get it done. I mean, the guy's just unbelievable talented, man. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. That ramp, I was like, what? Somebody didn't think of this all this time. I was like, that ramp's been there all that time since RCGP, and nobody has really they put banners on it or something like that. So that was a good idea. I really like the track. I always like Thunder Alley tracks. It's a unique track. You can only get people. You have to understand the amount of we're actually going to put the Truggy main up while we're talking. The amount of elevation that this track has is incredible. Like, and it's not very. People think it looks big, but it's not that big of a track. But it goes from this high up to a level, like we're almost the same level as a driver stand. Yes. So I just thought this was a great event. See that, like, how could that's such great marketing? Look, you see that big TNR sign there, like, you know, like who, like, I bet you now every race now is gonna have somebody paint that. I bet you. Watch.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, they should.
Hope they copy that. I really like our ideas. It's just, again, it's to help the hobby grow. And like when people were there, like I was there from Tuesday on, help, getting the track ready. and people were just coming by like, this looks so cool. I like to see this. Can we bring our kids, and is it free to watch? And I was like, heck yeah, that's the purpose of this,
Sweet.
So just to get it out there,
Right. All right. So we did have, no, I'm one of those guys who I don't like a lot of classes. You did have quite a lot of classes at this.
Yes.
There's two gripes I have. That you had a lot of classes, but I understand why you had it, because this is how you give back to your friends. And we did have a lot of people complain about that little track cut up there, right up her on the pool, which I saw a few times. But I think people also have to understand that this is also a really fun race for people. This is a lot of giving back, and people were racing, man. People were racing. People were talking about this track cutting right here. There's some people cut right here.
Yes.
But tell us about the classes. Why you had so many? I know you had like a over 53 class. Who's over 53, man?
Hey, that's actually one of the classes that we had an issue with cutting the track, But
Old guys, they can't see out that far, man.
Right.
I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
There's money on the line too, so that's what made it a little tough. But I'm just watching. I don't know if you guys are watching this. Cavallari's a machine,
isn't he? Isn't he?
Same lap, the same line every lap. It's just it's sick.
Hey, you know what, dude? Just real quick, I have to do a little goat swinging right now because I call him the goat. I think that Cavallari is fonded. He's gotten faster, and I think he's going to be a force to reckon with this year in 8-scale Nitro. I
feel the same way. Can I be biased? I haven't seen this guy win this much since he switched to our field.
Boom! There you go.
No, I kidding. That guy, he's been like I said again. I can always go back in the day and name my 5 favorite guys to race. Paul Coleman, Ryan Cavallari.
Who was there?
Oh, who was there? He podium. So Paul Coleman, Ryan Cavallari, Adam Drake. You guys. Oh God, I'm drawing it. He was an old Megan driver. He doesn't run anymore. Oh, Bobby Tillman. Sorry.
Bobby Tillman, yeah, he was good.
Bobby Tillman, and then of course Mayfield. Just 5 my favorite fun drivers to watch. So, but it seems Cavallari has picked it up a notch, man. This last year,
I think so.
It's just amazing, man. So,
right.
But anyway,
the classes. So I know you wanted to address that. Why so many classes?
Yeah, you got a lot of guys like I think JQ and Adam and all these guys are in a disagreement with classes. As someone like myself, okay, I call myself a 40+ glory driver, okay, because that's my level is gone here and it's peaked to 40+, and that's it, okay.
Right.
So I will never, ever, ever in this lifetime be as fast as my top 5 drivers that I just named off, okay. So I will never have a chance to podium or do anything like that if I continue to race in the pro or racing races where I'm not separated from those classes. So I'm a racer and I'm super competitive. I don't want to race for a C main or a B main. That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
So at my race, yes, I separated the classes. I had rookie class, which is I had a parent drive all the way from Arizona just to have their kid race. Not the parents. They didn't race at all. Their kid race just to run rookie. That right there was worth it all right there. But then to see, Hunter and Malcolm Townsend, Mikey Snyder, all these, my nephew Dominic, to see these little guys battling with each other. And yes, some of the little guys are faster than the others. But again, we can't justify and say, hey, these guys are way faster than need to be out of the class when it's not fair because their parents are spending more time with their kids and getting them to a level of, hey, this is where you're going to, you want to be to this level of sportsman or whatever. But right now, this is the rookie class. You deserve to be there. So that was a fun class and always is. And then, of course, we have our normal sportsmen, e-buggies, all the classes for sportsmen, all the classes for 40+. And then with our class, I call it open. I mean, the open class, I call it expert because, yeah, it's open. But in reality, these are
right. I get what you mean.
They're not. It's not an open class. It's an expert class. Like Matthew Willoughby, Mike Will,
Wally, and all those guys.
Wally, yeah, all these guys. These guys are not open drivers. These are expert drivers. They're fast as hell, but we're just right under that pro class.
Right, I agree with you there.
Perfect class for them,
I agree with you there.
And then now the 52+ class. All right, that class brought out drivers. If you guys don't remember, but Jason Bailey and Cecilia, they were the first husband and wife race couple. Okay. back in the day, I don't know if you remember, back in the day, Joey used to have a series called the Saturday Series. Okay.
Mhm.
And that was actually my first race I ever did. My first big race I ever did. I made the G main. That's how many racers would come to that series. I made the G main and didn't bump up.
The G-Man. Wow, I don't think you'll ever see a G-Man again. But
dude, that's how big the Saturday Series was back in the day.
Oh, I
It
can
was huge.
imagine.
Yeah. So, but Cecilia and Jason Bailey, they were so fast. I believe he won that series that year, or she did. But it was the coolest thing because I didn't know, being dumb, I didn't know how many chicks raced. I know Rhonda was out there, but I didn't know this chick was that fast as she was. She was pitting her husband, and then all of a sudden they were back-to-back racing. And then she grabs his radio and goes up there, and she wins the next class.
Really?
So that was just just unbelievable. So they were the fastest couple. But anyway, I haven't seen them race since like 06, 05.
Oh, that's nice to see that they came back.
So to see them come out, and I mean, I don't mean to age CC, but she's, she hit the 52 plus class,
Right.
And she was out there having a blast. Dean Rock's dad was out there. Quite a bit of guys out there. So for us to have 2 full heats of 52 plus.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Full heats. And for those racers, you don't see them racing. Maybe you'll see Jimmy Wright racing, Paul Coleman here and there, but all those other drivers, you don't see them at all. So what our race did was bring those guys out and have a blast and have fun, see their, sons watch their dads race that haven't raced in years. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? So
I wanted to bring up something. I know I'm one of the guys who say I don't like big entry races. I'm not saying I don't like them. They have their place in RC. I just wanted to say my issue is people making races just to making classes just to get more entries for money, right? So I get it. People have to make money too.
Yeah,
my issue with this is you're still like you broke even with this. This isn't a race about making money. This is a race about giving back to your friends. If you want to have a 52 plus class and you got 2 full heats of it, then you had justification for doing that. If you have a rookie class, I'm fine with that. It's my issue has always been like people who make access classes just to make up numbers. That's I know why you did this race. I'm glad you broke even because you should break even. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my issue isn't really with that. If you had 2 full heats of plus 52, that's great because they deserve to race as well.
Exactly, and have fun. See, because
yes,
I'm not toot my hoot, but again, I'm a 40 plus glory guy. But there's some 40 plus drivers out there. I say Jeremy Courts, he doesn't run anymore, but he did our stuff. Thank you, Jeremy Courts. But myself, Eddie Lored, Rhonda, these cats are fast. I mean, and I'm not saying we blow the waters out the 52 plus guys because Jimmy Wright, Paul Coleman, these guys are right equal with us, but they're just old cats, But
right.
But for them to be separated was cool, and the 40 plus guys for us to be separated is fun too. So I felt the class, and then again see the 52 plus guys, they weren't included in the raffles for the AMain. The 52 plus, they won their own money. So the first plus won 500, second place, third place, etc. The rookie class, they weren't included in the raffle as well. My wife made them. Of course, a woman puts their touch on it. They had their own black bags with their sticker, and nice. The boys from Racecraft sponsored us with the mini modules and the fuel and everything. So that was super cool. So the juniors had their own thing. And then this year, of course, we added the electric class. Yes, right. We don't say the E word in our house, but we added the electric class for contingency prizes too. And it ended up being the E class was, I think we had more E stuff than Nitro, So
E-Buggy's so big, man.
E-Truggy E-Buggy. I can't get over
E-Truggy's growing.
Yeah, dude. So that was fun to see, and my boy, Lee General, he's one of the key kings, and he's like, well, you gotta get us in those, those price pools too. I was like, you know what, you're right, dude. So this year we got him in there, and even though they didn't win, but they had a chance to win, so that was fun.
Oh, so let's talk about that. You had a lot of prizes. So how you had cash prizes, you had the OGO bags. I think one group of racers got all Reds engines as well.
All Reds, oh, so sweet, yeah. so
yeah, explain that to the people.
Huh?
Explain that to the people how that.
Okay,
works.
so yeah, so what we did, so the AMain Challenge is the whole goal is to make the AMain. Now, people always say when there's money involved in this, people drive dirty and this, and this. But the thing about it is you have no idea if you're going to win or not because it's a raffle again, So it's like, if you make the AMain a ride, now you have a chance to win something, whether you finish the race or not. So we had guys that made the AMain that left because, you know, obviously they didn't podium, but they ended up winning an OGO bag or a motor, you know. So it was super cool. So the 3 main prizes that we give away is we give cash, which next year is going to be just a little bit higher. That's super cool. But this year we gave away $3,000 to the winner. First place, second place got $2,000, third place got $1,000, and then from 4th to 12th they got $100.
Okay.
So that was one raffle, and then the other one was everyone got OGO bags. From 1st to 12th got to pick whatever one you wanted, you know. And then the other prize pool was the Reds Engine combos. So everyone wanted, you know, a Reds Engine combo. So that was super cool.
Which Red Engine did you guys give away?
God, I can't ever say.
The Scuderias.
Scuderias, yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You get really expensive
exactly
ones.
what I'm running in mind. So even though I have the limited edition ones for my pictures, because somehow that company knew my color scheme and they made a head special for me. Now just
there you go.
But anyways, yes, the motor, this is the engine I run, and yeah, those motors scream. I love them.
I saw you gave away some pit bikes. I think you had some other giveaways like raffles and other things. What else did you have on giveaway? I swear you had a pit bike.
We did. So from TNR Fuels and my family, for us saying thank you for signing up for our race. Whoever signs up. So I mean, literally everybody that signs up for our race has a chance to win something. Everybody. Okay. So everyone that signed up for our race had their name went into our raffle to enter that to win that pit bike, and that was a big 110 dirt bike. It wasn't just a little pee-wee bike. This one was a nice size one. So so everyone that entered the race had a chance to win that, and then obviously our raffle was just ridiculous. I mean, from air
you had a whole HB.
So we had full-blown built HB Truggy, and then the Buggy we didn't get in time from Hot Bodies, but it wasn't built, but full kits. But these other ones were fully, like the Truggy, Nitro Truggy came with the Drake motor in there.
Right.
You know, Sended RC servos in there, fully done. The Truggy came with Tekin Tekin motor and ESC, fully built, done. And all those builds were by Wally Build. So that was super cool. So nice. Yeah, awesome combos. And then again, we gave away air compressor, we gave away a generator.
I forgot about that. Generators. Yeah. Oh wow, you got all out, dude.
Just RC stuff that we can use, you know. So it was fun. It was just, you know what, before it even got to the raffles though, people were just coming up saying, bro, this format is fun. Thank you. I couldn't make it on Friday, but I still got to come and enjoy the race, a full racing day of Saturday and mains on Sunday, blah, blah, blah. So just before the raffles even happened, everyone was stoked about it. So that was cool.
Awesome. That's good, man. Great to give back. I'm glad also that you broke even, because I know the last race you told me, and I was like, whoa, like,
we spent quite a bit.
So that's always good. And like you said, it's giving back to your friends, your customers. This isn't the format, or this isn't the race that other promoters should do, because they have to make money as well. We understand that. So just so people get that.
And let me tell you too. So I wasn't the first one to do this. So just from the people that I know, and the promoters that I know, I've seen Dave Lycum out there at Psycho Nitro Bus. I swear they had a nice size raffle before. My idea for my big raffles came from Dave and Mona at Coyote Hobbies. They're guys that don't do electric. They would have the most awesomest raffles ever. And that's where I got my idea from. Gotcha. And then giving the money away, I got that from Jimmy Babcock, because Jimmy at our Jimmy Babcock series, he gives away money back to all the racers. So I just put these things together and put my own twist on it. And here we go. So, yeah.
Awesome. Next year, same dates?
We're looking at the exact same dates again. I know Tim Lyman them might be doing something, which is actually, the fact that he had a race on the same date as ours was actually fine, because it gave people an option, because not everyone cares to do a race, like you're saying, a big race. More of the pro guys would rather just go do their thing, you know.
This race wasn't about pro guys anyway.
Huh?
Your race isn't about pro guys anyway. It's about giving back.
See, okay, how about this though? See, again, don't get me wrong. I call, you know, Tebow and Mayfield and all these guys, they're aliens, dude, because what they do is just unearthly. It's just amazing. But I mean, you got to look at the pros that were at our race, okay? Right. Dylan Nelson, Carlos Arredondo, Walker Spinrad, Tyler Brown. I'm sorry, I know
those are all fast guys.
dude, these guys are unbelievable fast.
They're
you know
fast
what I mean?
guys.
Tyler Finster, these Jermaine, these guys are AMain guys that could make any AMain at any big race. And yet they chose to come to our race. And that made me feel awesome. So what people don't know is the pro, I feel like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Rat Race. I'm a gambler. I'm not a gambler, but I love gambling. I love betting. So I said the pro that had the best combined finishes, they won $500.
Okay.
We didn't advertise it though, because I didn't want people. I wanted the pros that were going to support us to support us, and then they got their own little thing too.
Gotcha.
So Cavallari did quite well that race.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He did quite well. But anyway,
congratulations, man. I'm glad you did that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the coverage. Shout out to Mod once again.
Yes, Mod and Rudy Rico, those guys killed it all weekend.
Sweet.
And to hear people saying like our race was the best coverage they've ever seen from this little Matt guy, dude, I mean, his production is just amazing. I mean,
he's a one-man show.
But he makes it work, and he does it. I'm learning from this cat. You know what I mean? He's a kid, and he's just, you don't put nothing past people.
He works hard. He works very hard.
That's the thing. He earns every minute. But you know what? And I got to say this one more time, okay? I got to say this, and I got to make sure people hear this, okay? The reason why we were able to give away so much is because these people weren't greedy and trying to kill us for
right.
I've had like starting with our announcer. I've asked other announcers, and they're like, "Oh, I need 20% at the door of every entry," and I'm like, "Well, bro, I'm trying to give back to racers. Can we, blah blah blah." Daniel Adams, not only is he my good friend, and not only did Daniel Adams announce the very first race I ever tried in my life, which was a 10-scale nitro truck, but for him to run through a program and to help us out and say, "Hey, Chris, I'll take care of you, man. I'll do it for this amount, and let's just have fun." And then for him to do it for the exact same amount again, that's how I'm able to give back to racers. Gotcha. Andrew Trotter at Thunder Alley said, "Hey, well, I'll work with you. Let's do this and let's do this." MOD. Now, to have a full cover, I'll have a full camera crew out there is not cheap at all. For him to give us the pricing he did, not saying that's going to happen with everyone, and I'm not throwing numbers or anything out there like that, but they understood the format of our race of giving back to the racers, so they helped me out. So that's what I was able to help them out. So without the support, and then of course Daniel, the track builder, completely killed it and helped us out pricing as well. All this comes together to help the AMain Challenge work. So I just wanted to say thank you to all those guys.
Sweet. Awesome. You guys did a good job. Good job.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations. I like Andrew too. Nice guy. Spent a lot of time there with RCGP.
Yeah.
Nice dude. All right, dude. So I know I've kind of known about this for a while. But you have some big news that you want to announce. When you told me this a couple of months ago, and I'm just been kind of, when we talk, I ask you about it. But yeah, man, can we finally talk about this TNR facility that you told me about a few months ago?
Yes. Oh my God.
Let's talk about this.
This is something that I guess nobody really talks about or does, and mainly, and now I understand it's because of money. Oh my God, it's money. But we decided to, our field did way better than my wife and I could have ever imagined. People told us in the beginning, you're not going to make money with it. There's no money in RC. There's no money in racing. I was hard-headed and did my own thing anyway, and look where we're at. So we decided to save that money and run right now while we're hot, while we're fuel is selling off the shelves. And we decided to put a little money away and try to build our own complex. So we're looking actually, we've been in the process for quite a while trying to get this going. So it doesn't look like anything's going to happen in the year of 2023 or 2022, but it does look like we are going to be building a 20-acre RC compound, which will house 7 tracks, which is going to be amazing. Yes.
It's 20 acres. So what are we talking about here? What type of tracks?
So we're looking at an 8-scale, premier 8-scale on-road or off-road track, like what we run on, and an 8-scale on-road track, and then a 5th-scale track. Now, all tracks are covered. So our purpose is to host a national event, rain or shine.
Okay.
So that's the whole purpose of the way we're building our facility. And we're engineering this. I mean, from the driver's stand to the ramps to get into the pit lane, everything is engineered to the T. And it's just going to be a facility that it's going to be something that you're going to want to, what do you do? Check in, come in, So it's going to be awesome. So We're gonna also have a 2-story building where it's gonna be downstairs will be paved 10 scale on road, and then upstairs, we're gonna have carpet, off road carpet.
Really?
Yes. So, and then we also have enough room to throw a 3-acre pond for RC boats.
Okay.
So that is the most fun.
Any flying fields, anything like that as well?
Well, so again, we're trying to work on our property right now to for our land, but we're also trying to acquire the land behind it as well for the airfield, because it's so funny with the airfield, you pay for space or something like that. It's weird. I don't know, but so anyway, so we had to acquire the land behind to do that, but that's a later date. We want to get our land and our construction loan approved so we can go ahead and get going. So that's the goal.
What size 8-scale race are we looking at? Are we looking at like just with a roof and open sides, or how's that?
Roof and open sides with the option, like we'll have roll downs, because our sun, the way our tracks are designed, the sun will hit drivers. So we'll have, I do custom automation, with audio, video. So I'll be doing the majority of all the audio, video, security, etc. But I'll do automated shades for the blinds.
Oh, wow.
That automatically cut down at certain times of the day, so we're never blinded. So
that's awesome.
Everything,
so
cool. everything for RC that I want, we've thought about, and it's going to be phenomenal. So,
that's badass.
It is, yes. We're excited. My wife and I. It's the most stressful thing we've ever tried to do. We've had our ups and downs. We've already had deals, close escrow or fall out escrow, get into escrow, money, no money. So it's been an up and down thing, but we're still going at it. We're still trying to hit it hard.
Yeah, the only other facility that I've been to like that is in Chile. They have it just outside of Santiago. It's very big. It has flying fields. It has a pond for boats. It has an on-road track, off-road track.
Nice.
It has a go-kart track too, by the way.
Oh, sick.
But
Nice.
they also have fruit trees around it that they use that's part of the income as well. And they have a clubhouse where you can, this is a really nice facility. Like all the pits they're covered with electricity, compressors. Then they have a clubhouse, like Hall of Fame stuff from Chile, RC in Chile. So this is great, man. Having it covered too, like, wow,
everything covered.
Yeah, like we don't have to worry about rain.
Never, never.
Don't have to worry about being inside a building. We got open.
We've thought it's well thought out. So, and again, same with us. We do have while we're keeping our TNR Fuels drivers, limited, because they will have limited access to.
Got you.
Their access to their lounge area for the racers to talk, et cetera, et cetera. It'll be super fun for that. And then the whole theme is race only. It's not, even though I'm a sports guy, I play football, baseball, basketball all my life, hockey, but this facility will be race facility only. So you will see, Dale Hart Jr. posters, or Ronald Falk posters, or it's going to be RC race theme all around the whole facility the minute you walk in. So it's going to be really fun.
So we're expecting this 2023 then.
Yes, we're hoping to hopefully break ground 2022 and then be completed by 2023 because of the size of this place. We actually, believe it or not, I just came from a meeting yesterday with the city and our architect. So getting things rolling with that the city is extremely happy for us with what we're doing, because it's going to be bringing in, of course, tax dollars, but we're going to be right on the freeway. So we're bringing in people,
good.
We have the Vegas traffic. So everyone that's stuck in Vegas traffic, they're going to want to pull off. They're going to see cars flying in the air. They're going to want to come in, check out the hobby shop, see what's
some
going
exposure.
on. Yes. So it's bringing, just to build this sport again, So
yeah, I wish you guys all the luck. I want to see when you guys break ground.
Yes,
this is exciting news. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Covered on-road track, like, that's
don't get any better. That tacky, I cannot wait. The traction will just be consistent. Don't have to worry about sun, weather. It's going to be fully done right. So
awesome. Awesome. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy that your business is doing well. I appreciate your support of the podcast. I look forward to seeing you guys. I have a question. So Paul Coleman, we got him out to do some racing. What did he drive? Did he drive a Kyosho?
Yeah, he's still running his Kyosho stuff,
Yeah.
and the brother's still fat. He doesn't do a
Paul
lot of
was
off-road
good.
at all.
Yeah.
And fast guys don't lose it. You know what I mean? They just still have it. So I think him and Jimmy were going at it quite well. I think Paul and Jimmy would have had a good run. I'm not sure what happened. With the track cutting there. But it was close, and it was fun to watch those guys run. So
It's good to see him running again.
it is, and it was cool because Paul, he actually put it in my trailer. And big thanks to Paul Coleman Racing. He actually was the one that prepped my cars before my main events, so they didn't fall apart. They were perfect. So
he loves that stuff.
Oh, dude, just to have help. And then my buddy Kai McNeil, he's another kid that's just another phenomenal pro driver that just comes out of nowhere and throws down laps. It's just like, but my event, I have to give my buddy Kai props. My event would not have happened as well as it did if I didn't have a right-hand man, and he was right there by my side from Thursday on, so it was just, he helped me, have that event perfect, so.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for you. It's good to see success stories in our industry. You and your wife are doing good things. As they say, teamwork makes dream work. And I look forward to seeing you guys. It's been a while. It's been 2 years.
Yes.
Coming up here. So I'll be excited to get back and hang out with you guys in the TNR pits.
Nice.
And the facility. I'm super excited about that.
I am too. Just to have my own place to go practice. A lot of us cats in the high desert have nowhere to run anymore. We got Coyote Hobbies, thank God.
Right.
But no 8-scale places to run anymore. SoCal's, there's no more SoCal Raceway. So to have a facility up here and to be a multi-facility,
yes,
that's what's going to be super cool. Because you got a lot of guys that are off-road guys that don't know anything about on-road, and then on-road guys that just want to try jump one time, so to have all that in the same facility, it's going to be the coolest thing ever. So
yes, lots of crossover. The boat guys, I'm a boat guy.
Oh God,
I can't wait
to see it. Most guys don't know about, but it's so cool. So a lot of RC guys have boats in their shelves and they have nowhere to run them. And then the purpose of our pond is we could do nitro boats in our pond because it's not a fishing game pond. It's just a boat pond just for that. So because in the Philippines and all these other countries, nitro boating is huge, but it's not so big out here in the States. So, but like to see a 12-cell huge boat go, that's why our pond is about 3 acres.
Yeah, has to be big.
You need room for those things to open up, But then also we got a portion of the pond that'll be for the sailboat guys. So it's from little to big. So
yeah, I would also get them trail guys up there, nice crawling areas, all that type of stuff.
I'm leaving stuff out, and I'm leaving for a surprise for people. But we have a 2-story rock crawling that'll travel around the whole hobby shop, which is the coolest thing in the world. Yeah,
wow.
The way it's designed is the coolest thing. So it'll have waterfall, trees. Going around the whole hobby shop.
I can't wait till this is done. Yeah, I can't wait to come see this.
Like every day, like engineering notes go in on how to make this place better. So it's a work in progress, but it'll be fun.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm and your passion. It's a great injection in the industry that we need. Thank you for all that you do. I hope to make it to the AMain Challenge next year. I really hope you get this facility done. I'm super excited about that.
Thank you.
Glad to see your business is doing well. People are supporting you. Thank you for your support of the podcast. Nitro truly is the glory, and it's proven that. Do you want to say any thanks before we head out here and give anybody any information?
Always, again, I want to thank my wife for being by my side, letting me play with my toys and have fun with everything. I want to thank all the TNR supporters out there, not just the drivers, the sponsor drivers, but all the supporters out there. My buddy, all the guys that helped me out, Tyrone, Angie, all the guys in the South, the East, Ryan, for helping me distribute and to get our fuel out there. Without those guys, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. Our local shops, Garen at Rev, Dave Mamona at Coyote, Jimmy Bacca, who just did another huge order, literally, that we're going out to go deliver. Andrew at Thunder Alley, all the tracks that support our fuel and to keep our product out there. Again, guys, we're all about the tracks and the hobby shops. You get them in the hobby shops and tracks, that keeps those guys open. So take note, manufacturers,
Gotcha.
So, but thanks to all you guys again. And thanks for everyone that came out to the AMain Challenge. I appreciate your support. I'm so glad everyone had a good time.
Cool, man. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you and the family at DNC.
Yes.
And let's have some fun. It's gonna be some serious racing going on. Some serious racing.
Sure is. I'm trying to win that AMain money, guys. Come on.
All right, cool. I'll talk to you later on, man. Have a good one.
All right, appreciate you, brother. Take
All
care.
Right. Bye-bye.
All right.
All righty, Max. That brings the end to our podcast. Thank you for your time, good buddy. Thank you to Chris Nelson and his time. So really big news there has got about his new facility that is opening up. That's going to be awesome. You know, I'm glad to see things like that. We'll be looking out for more of that as it gets closer to doing that. Max, thank you for your time. You know, I like this new hoodie look. You're not looking as homeless as usual, so I like that. Still got to trim this mustache.
It ain't going, man. It ain't going. It's staying.
Soon it's going to start curling out like this. You can be like, oh, I need mustache wax.
Yeah, maybe I need to do that. That's sort of be my new brand, the mustache man.
Okay.
No.
All good, man. All good. Do what you want to do. It's your life. It's your facial hair. You do what you want with it.
Yeah, man.
I noticed you didn't say anything about my awesome arrangement of Black Series toys here. So this is a tribute to probably, I forgot to say this in the intro, that was probably one of the best episodes. And as a longtime Star Wars fan, I was enthralled and absolutely gobsmacked by what I saw yesterday, which is all these characters together in one like movie. We got to see Cad Bane, who's badass bounty hunter, badass Luke. Like this is when he was like Space Jesus Luke, Mandalorian, Grogu, and Ahsoka all in one thing. Like as a Star Wars nerd, I'm super happy. All my RC Star Wars friends have been messaging me. They're all geeking out. I know Hagbar can't see it yet because it's at the Snowbirds. Too bad for him. He's got a race. He can't, enjoy the joy. But I'm super happy and super pumped about Star Wars. Max, thank you for your time. Thank you everybody for your time. We can't do this without these guys. The No Name RC podcast listeners, all the guys from around the world, NNRC squad. You make this all possible. Thank you for your support. Thank you to the patrons for the extra support as well. We can't do it without you guys. We need to do a Patreon pod here soon. Maybe we'll do one next week, Max. Just record for those guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody that continues to support us. We greatly appreciate it, man. If you wish to be a patron, you can in the written description of this podcast. We can't do this without the awesome companies that support us as well. Invisible Speed, TNR Fuels, High Tech RC, Beach RC, Techno RC, Mayako, Lugs Racing Tires, TZO, Clinic RC, Racecraft USA, G-Spec, RC Tuning, JTP RC, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic. Shout out to RCGP, House of RC, JQSM, Runner Falk, RC Kevin, Hagbar. Good luck to him at the Snowbirds. Good luck to everybody racing at Paris tonight. And you'll be listening to this, it'll be tonight. It'll be fun to see. We got to talk about that. We're going to talk about, that's probably going to be one of the most talked about club races ever next week.
Snowbirds is hardly a club race.
No, I'm talking about the Paris race.
Sorry, I was confusing because it was just a snowbird.
Yeah, my buddy Chuck from my buddy Chuck from Vancouver is gonna come and help me go over the snowbirds race. But anyway, cool. Show the sponsor some love, everybody. We got coupon codes, we got affiliate links. It helps us out, showing them some love, shows us some love. And yeah, Max, you got anything to say to the people before we leave?
Keep RC fun, man. It's
keep it fun.
It's great. And like the guy who is pissing off you on the internet, he's probably just having a bad day. So try to be friends. Try not to be as dick as the other guy that's probably being a dick to you. So we'll all have more fun then. People aren't in the world to hate each other. People are in the world to have fun.
Sweet. With that said, I hope you guys are liking the new format here. If you can, leave a like, leave a sub, hit that notification button, leave reviews, share. We appreciate it. Help us get out there in the algorithms. Help us go viral. That helps us out a lot. Remember, everybody, Nitro's the glory. E-Buggy pays the bills. If you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Everybody have a good weekend of racing. Be safe, travel safe, and have fun. With that said, Lefty and Max are out. Short intro.